It's all a build, guys. It's all a build up. Everything and anything we do, I am now 100% convinced it's a build up. Totally convinced it's a build up. Like think about your day-to-day work life. Think about your journey in life. Think about your daily routine. Think about everything, your ambitions, your goals, right? There's got to be a gap always between when you start and when you get there. And everything in between is a build-up. Stay with me. Let's, dive deep. Mujeres are here, as always, in my happy place. Like, you guys have no idea, but this community just is one place I go and I feel at home, Like, I always feel excited sitting down here and chatting with you guys and, sharing my thoughts and how they relate to life. So, today's topic episode is inspired by actually a program, I think, on Premier League Super Sport. I'm a fan of football, like, local football, but English football, especially the Premier League. And I'm a fan of, Manchester United as such. So it's sort of like, it's one of the things that, like keep me a bit off, intense environment and all that. So the other day I was watching, because the Super Sport has this program called the buildup or build-up. So usually before game, like today being a Saturday, I think the first game is around, maybe it's around 3:30 or something like that. So like an hour or 2 hours before kickoff, that is before the game start, they always have they get professional analysts, like former football players and coaches and like professionals in the sport to come and do a deep dive, look at different teams, especially the ones that are actually going to be playing in that day. They usually also called match day, and like they look at the statistics, they look at the previous history, maybe most recent games, they look at the opponents, the both teams that are playing each other, they look at they dissect each of these teams, in terms of their strengths, in terms of who stands a better chance to win against whom, and they just go back into. But in this particular case, it's a build-up, and that's what they call actually the program, because then they're bring you the fun closer to home before now the game starts, so at least you have, it's like it excites you, but from a point of knowledge, in the sense that now you get to get like a bit of data, a bit of updates on what's going on, a bit of history on the players, the clubs, and things like that. So it for them, it's a build up to game time, right? And I find that very fascinating. So I think two days ago I was jogging in I think one of these evenings in the forest, and then I'm like, actually, that somehow that build up thing came to me. Like, it just kept, this thought kept coming, like flashing in my mind as I was running, and I'm like, okay, so if these guys are do a build up before game time, for them it's a build up because they're preparing you for the different matches, right? But remember that there are teams that are going to play that day. It doesn't necessarily mean that whatever build-up these guys are doing has anything to do with the teams themselves, right? So it made me think, okay, so how about the teams themselves? What would be a build-up, for the teams? Because these guys are doing a build-up for their TV channel, because then they're a sports channel, right? And that for them it's a build up. They're building you up towards the game, the matches, so that now you get hooked in, but also you get informed and you get excited. You keep you keep that fire burning. Now, as I thought about the teams, I'm like, okay, so I'm like, okay, what would a football team be doing towards its build up before game time? Obviously, they'll be training. There'll be medical fitness sort of checks. There'll be tactical, stuff to go around. They'll be reviewing the opponents, like history, most recent games, I guess. They'll be looking at, the fans and what they expect. They'll be looking at the weather, so many things. And then I thought to myself, okay, so if I'm pursuing a goal or a business objective, what is my likely build up, right? So let's say, an example of a lawyer such as myself. I have a case coming up maybe in 2 days. So my build up could be, depending of course what the court expects of me on that day. If it's filing certain documents, the build up would be doing research, drafting, and filing, and ensuring that by the time the day comes, the court day, things are ready, right? Then I'm like, okay, if let's say I'm a business person, right, and maybe I have I'm providing a service, or I'm in the entertainment industry. I have a show, for example. The build up then would be practicing. You even see, like, when these let's say these shows, music shows, people actually, the artists tend to actually go be on ground. I think a day or two prior, they will actually go to the actual stage that on which they're going to perform. If it's a concert, they'll sing as though they are in that. Actually, they have the audience, and purely for them to get to look and feel, to get themselves comfortable with the space. They're able to know their angles, how they're going to move, how they're going to do their art, and all that. And that's done usually a day before or 2 days before, and also the day before. Even like maybe if the show starts at 9, let's say 8 p.m., they'll be there most of the day, practicing. So it was clear. So like, okay, so this makes sense. So it's all a build up. But then I'm like, okay, in the word itself, build up, it sort of like suggests that there's gonna be an end to the build up. Now it's action time, right? It's match day, it's game time, it's show time, it's a concert, performance and all these things. So I'm like, okay, so does it mean that the build up ends? So when does the build up end? Typical build up, the word build itself would sort of like suggest construction, right? So if that were to be the case, so when does this whole construction end? When do you actually launch the building? When do you enter the building? When do you sanction it? When do you move into your house? You build up, it's ready. And actually, when you move in, does it mean that actually it's done? The build up is done? Because now when you move in, another build up starts. That is, you get now to take care of, set in, get your properties, or rather your household items arranged in an orderly manner that you so desire. Okay. Then now you have to continuously, feed yourself, shower, and all these things. So is there like a continuous build up in a sense? Because then now, once you're in and then you're setting up, and that's another build up. Or take an example of if it were to be a match, football match, right? Fine, you've built up to the match. Now the match is on, it's your time. Okay. So then what happens? So either if you won or lost, let's say you've won. So it would appear if you've won, the next build up would be to the next game, or would be if you are an away team, then you have to go back to your home ground. If you've lost, again, then you have to go. Like for example, you see after the game, there's a press conference and there's all that. So it appeared to me, as I was thinking more about it, that actually we are always in a continuous build-up loop, for lack of better words, in a sense that it's so you build up to a certain extent, but then it's segmented, depending on the specific goal at a time. But then now you achieve that milestone, that goal, then it opens up another goal. Then also you have to, then there's a build up. So I think that life is a continuous build up, like totally. And it's an endless, chain of, because I think the winners are those that, are able to, at a certain point, know that establish like a chain, a build-up chain. And then now the milestones are like the breakpoints, because again, if you and in this build-up, I think there's no such a thing as that you will. I think you will build up, but then unbuild, in a sense that if you don't meet a milestone, okay, that means now you have to, again, go back to the drawing board, for instance, reassess, reevaluate what went wrong, what did you not do right, and all these things. So that also is another build-up to now bring you back to where you want to be, right? So in whichever way, you flip up, you flip down, you're still building up. So the question is, have you defined your build up, right? Is your build up organized and planned well enough that you will not, for example, find yourself missing out, in the sense that you don't achieve goals as you desire, in which case then it derails you a little bit. So that means it takes you back a bit in terms of your progress, your journey, right? Or have you worked on your build-up strategy so well so that you're able to actually meet those milestones, meet those KPIs, meet those targets, and then now move to the next build, right? So I think if you're able to recognize and prepare your build-up, have it well planned out, well executed, the only difference is that you'll be able to move faster, unlock the next, build-up, and move, as per your plans and objectives and goals in life. Whereas now the other person who has not maybe met their goals and objectives, they get to milestone B, then now, because they have not made the target, then they're not necessarily going back to A, they will probably stay at B, right? And then start to maybe refine that particular stopover before now they can unlock C. So take your build up, plan it well, but always remember, it's a continuous build up. You will not probably stop building And once you get into that building, it's only but a stopover. It's a point of like reflection, to allow you to prepare, plan on the next build, so that you can continue building up and get to the next step. But it doesn't stop there. So it's just like, it's the same way, even naturally, okay, as you age with life. You start up as a toddler, build up to maybe a kid, build up to like an infant, build up now to a teenager, build up to an adult, then build up to like a youth, then now you build up to now like middle age. Keep going, then you build up to retirement. You almost know what happens next, so, and it never stops. It's just the same way. The clock never stops ticking. What makes us think that that because you've hit a build up, you've hit milestone X, then now you stop building, you pause and live in that building? It's like you'll be trying to stop time, which is impossible. So I think if you look at our goals, our plans as build-ups that must continue going up, just like time never stops, I think, and not really stressing so much about the fact that like I need to stop, I need to pause. Yes, you can pause in there, take a holiday, do this, do that. Yeah, but as and when you're back, the build-up will be waiting for you. So we must always I think be encouraged by that. And obviously you define the next phase, you define the next build, and I think it's in that definition of what your next build is that you'll find purpose, you'll find meaning, you'll find peace, you'll find satisfaction, happiness, wealth, health. But it's a never-ending build-up loop. Let me know if this particular episode resonates with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd be more than happy to get your comments on the same. And as always, it's always a fantastic time when I get to sit here and have this conversation with you guys. It always makes me happy. If at least there's one thing I can do every day, again and again and again, as and when things come to me, this is it. So keep strong, stay safe, happy weekend, and happy week. Maybe this video will come after weekend, I don't know. But I hope that it catches you at the right time, at the right moment. And I'll be glad. It will mean the world to me if you shared, liked, commented, so that the more the merrier, so we can spread love and inspiration. Mungu abariki. God bless you. Mungu abariki Africa. God bless Africa. Kwaheri. Bye bye. Richard out. Catch you in the next one.